Hi guys, welcome into my very own kitchen. So today what I would like to do is go through, this is our first video tutorial for getting started on the Nutritarian lifestyle. So what I would like to do is show you some of the things that I have in my house on any given day. I didn't go to the grocery store today. This is just stuff that I would have laying around, and it's the type of food that you will want to get familiar with. And I'm going to show you how to use foods that you would have in your house on any given day and how to put them together. And really, I want to help you get started on living this Nutritarian lifestyle. So it's kind of daunting getting started for some people, depending on how drastic your eating changes are. But I'm just going to go ahead and start with breakfast, and then I'll go into lunch and dinner. So for breakfast, you have to really first stop and think about, first of all, how do you feel that day? And second of all, what kind of breakfast person are you? Some people love to have a big breakfast. Some people like savory breakfast. Some people like sweet breakfast. So I'm going to show you a few different options. Now keep in mind that the 6-week Nutritarian challenge is not necessarily what you'll do for a lifetime. So once you get to your ideal weight that you want to be at, you can really stop thinking about measurements and how much of certain foods you have, and just say to yourself, I'm going to eat a ton of fruits and vegetables, whatever kind I want. If you want to make creamy soups, you can add cashew butter, you can eat peanut butters and almond butters and stuff like that. Really tend to stay at the same weight without any gaining. But that first 6 weeks is where you really want to focus on staying within the parameters that we have listed from Dr. Furman's book. And it's a pound of vegetables a day, a pound cooked, a pound raw, so that's 2 pounds a day, fruits, vegetables, and then you're going to keep certain things to a minimum, and that's what's going to really help you lose weight, which is the grain. Keep that to a minimum. I think it's 1 serving or 1 cup of grain a day, a cup of beans. You're going to keep your nuts and seeds kind of to a minimum. But like I said, once you get to your ideal weight, you know what? I don't usually count calories, or I never count calories, but I don't usually measure. If I really feel like a big bowl of rice for lunch, I'll eat that. And I haven't had any trouble gaining weight over the last several months. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is for the 6-week program. So for breakfast, what I like to do is in the morning, I am usually not very hungry in the morning. So I say, if you're not that hungry in the morning, run with that thought. You're not going to skip breakfast, but what is really good if you're not that hungry in the morning is some fruit. So right now is persimmon season, so I eat a persimmon every morning. I buy 20 persimmons once a week, and my family, my daughter and I, love persimmons, and we eat them all week long. We have them for breakfast, so I chop up a persimmon and I eat it for breakfast. Eating fruit by itself is wonderful. It's a wonderful way to eat fruit. That is not a food myth. Fruit digests very quickly, and it will move through your system. Fruit uses different stomach enzymes than meat proteins. So, and it uses different enzymes from other proteins as well. So if you eat a fruit by itself, it's going to digest very well in your system, and it will move quickly, and it will actually help regularity in the morning. So that's a good way to get digestion going. And the other thing that I do every morning, and I'm just going to show you this little concoction, and this is actually something you can do during the day. I take a glass of water, and I use vitamin C crystals, and it's just this little powdery substance. And I would say I do, it's about 5 to 6,000 milligrams of vitamin C. And then I use some liquid stevia and just a little bit of that to sweeten it, and about half a lemon. And I will drink this in the morning. Actually, this would be more like a full glass of water, but I drink this in the morning. It tastes a little bit like a lemonade, but this is also great for digestion. The lemon is really good for liver function. It just keeps, especially during the first few weeks when you are detoxing. This is really going to help move things through. You need to drink a ton of water. A gallon of water a day is what you should be on during the 6 weeks. You're going to be flushing a lot of fat through your system, and it's really important that you're flushing out those toxins. So drink a lot of water. Adding lemon, this concoction you can drink any time of the day. Keep in mind that the vitamin C will move through your system. It's water soluble, so it's not going to store as a toxin, but it will make you have to go to the bathroom more if you have too much of it. So it's not a health concern, it's just how often you want to go to the bathroom. So frankly, so that's breakfast for me. Another option for breakfast is chopping up a potato with some onion. For people who like savory breakfast, which I very often do, especially when I'm traveling, and I'll order diced potatoes, grilled, and some onions and green peppers. For people who like sweet breakfast, Coach's Oats you can get them at Costco, or just a regular oatmeal you can get like from the bins at Sprouts. People who are gluten intolerant, you have to be a little careful. Some people are more sensitive to oats than others. There's kind of a debate on whether or not the gluten issue has to do with the way that it's processed and whether they're contaminated or not. So just be aware of that if you're gluten intolerant. Almond Breeze is what I use for milk. So this I would put on Coach's Oats. Here's a little tip I got from my friend Allison. The vanilla unsweetened is fabulous. And I also add this in the morning to, if I do like a peppermint tea, or when I decided to quit Diet Coke, I had to do like a Diet Coke recovery program because it was really hard to quit. And so my brother, coming home from a mission in South America, brought home mate, which is what a lot of people in South America, it does have a little bit of caffeine. So, but it's not a tea leaf, and I'm not a tea drinker or coffee drinker, so I would do mate, and I would add a little bit of Almond Breeze and some of the stevia. Perfect breakfast. And of course with either the fruit or oatmeal. Now with the oatmeal, when you cook that, of course raisins, bananas, chopped apples is one way to go. You can also do like the cinnamon and nutmeg root, but either way the almond milk is really good on top. And I like to buy flaxseed, and you can add flaxseed to the oatmeal. So when you cook, you want to think about, how can I make this meal have the most nutrients possible? So you want to start thinking about things like adding flaxseed or adding sesame seeds. These are the kind of things that are going to give you those really important fats. You have to have an ounce of those every day. So just think about that as you're preparing.